The latter even has a, quote, Islamofascism Awareness Week in front of women's departments across universities in the US, and rattles off facts about the horrendous status of women under Islam so that it can help promote the neocon agenda of bombing men, women and children into so-called liberated swamps like Iraq. Like the Stop Islamization of Europe campaign, these groups have, quote, difficulty with the concept of a moderate Muslim. And they believe, quote, that the onus is on Muslims to ensure the safety of non-Muslims, end quote. Why? As if it is the onus of safeguarding Spaniards is on all those who are Basque or deemed to be Basque. They are, quote, concerned about the rights of women and apostates, so they can ban the Quran and Muslim immigration, so-called Muslim immigration, so they can stop the, quote, subhuman, teeming hordes destroying the Christian nature of Europe and the West. They are quite happy to defend religious morality, restrict the benefits due single mothers, demand exceptions from the sexual orientation regulations, bar funds for AIDS-related and contraceptive-related health services abroad if they provide abortions, and consider the women's rights movement and fight for equality, quote, the destruction of the nuclear family and of all the power structures in society in general. According to their warped worldview, quote, the West has skyrocketing divorce rates and plummeting birth rates, leading to a cultural and demographic vacuum that makes it vulnerable to a takeover. Both the anti-imperialist left and the right wing refuse to see millions of people as truly human, with innumerable differences of opinion and belonging to vast social movements and progressive organizations and parties, and worthy, I believe, is their due. Their politics has nothing to do with improving and changing the lot of humanity and women's status, and is in fact an obstacle to its advancement. It is within this context that left and progressive groups, socialist and mass movements within the Middle East and elsewhere are challenging people and organizations everywhere to take a principled human stance against sexual apartheid vis-à-vis both camps of reaction. This is the challenge that the women's liberation in Iran brings to you today. Clearly, sexual apartheid must enrage civilized humanity into an international movement that is about changing and improving people's lives. But in order to succeed, this movement must reject both US-led militarism and political Islam and rely on and support a third camp of the millions of refusing and resisting people across this globe. To do so, it must be uncompromisingly secular and humanist. It must refuse to tolerate the intolerable. It must raise the banner of universal rights. It must defend the right and historical duty to criticize religion and defend the freedoms and equality of people everywhere. To succeed, it has to have at its very core a defense of the human being. In 1973, as a result of international pressure and widespread opposition to the apartheid system in South Africa, apartheid was recognized as a crime against humanity. On the 100th anniversary of international